Well, for one, I'm an artist. I've been an artist for a long time, since like out the womb. It started off with Scribble Scrabble. But no, yes, we in my family we're a bunch of artists.
Okay.
So like my mother, my dad, my grandfather, but everybody did their own style, whatever. So I kind of had it in me. It was like a natural born thing. So what like really fueled me into my artistry was just the fact that it was like my grandfather. I would see my mother's old sketches, and then I'm just like, you know what? It just comes out of me. That was like my way of expressing myself. And it's crazy because as a mom, I see my son, he doodles a lot. And I'm like, that's how I started. And then my brother, I don't know if I have a picture onto my brother too. He's a painter. Amazing. So, but I'll definitely let you guys know.
Yes,
He's
definitely.
Randy R 626. I didn't want to fuck up his birthday because then I would have been like, oh. Yeah. So yeah, he does portraits and stuff like that, cartoons. Like he is amazing because I taught him certain things and he taught me certain things, but we're 5 years apart. But he practices. So his practice, like it shows. Me, on the other hand, I've taken like breaks upon breaks and stuff like that. But I feel like I was such an artist like back in the day, like when I was in high school, because I was more creative and I was more expressive, but at the same time I was very drained. So but that's really what I am. I'm an artist. I have my little business as well, my little shop. I do seasonings and whatnot. But
yeah, we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah.
yes. So, but I consider myself an artist because like as an artist, you can do anything you want. I am the creator. So I'm very like fluid in those things. But how I started off was the fact that I needed to like have this outlet to express myself, because the way I was brought up, the way I was experiencing certain things, it was the only way for me to really like be where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And that's how that came about. So now where I'm at as an artist is just like, now I get to do my own thing, because before I used to do like commissions and stuff like that. And like I said, it was on and off, on and off. And I started off as a fashion designer, like a fashion illustrator. I want to like really stick to that because a bitch cannot sew. I don't want to tell you that story, okay? Because one time in band camp, we had like a fucking sewing machine. We were practicing, and you know how like the old school machines, it sounds like
My mom
yeah, and then you got the little gas pedal and shit.
Yeah.
So teacher said not to go, but my dumb ass went. And I caught my finger. And I was like, ooh. I didn't feel it because I was in shock.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that I'm not gonna do this ever again. I'm just gonna draw this out, and I'm gonna have somebody else sew, and that is that. I don't need nobody fucking sitting here telling me that I need to do it. No, me and sewing are not friends. I'm gonna draw it out. But the thing is, also on Instagram, when that was during the time where everybody was actually promoting themselves and why everybody had large platforms, because I've seen people on Instagram that I remember them having like 5,000 followers and now like they're so well known and they're flying out and all this crazy shit. I'm just like, damn, I saw you from like the trenches. Like now look at you living large and you in charge. I love it. So seeing that, it motivated me, but at the same time, I've never been the type like I need to keep up with everybody. I go at my pace because I feel like everybody's so obsessed with like, you got to be like this person, you have to be like that person. That's the only way you're gonna. And I'm just like, no. Everybody deserves to go at the pace that they need to go for themselves, because people get tired, things happen in life. And it doesn't mean that this person works harder than you and you
Yep.
work harder than this person. No, like everybody has just a different story. So for me as an artist, like I was still in like discovery,
Okay.
figuring out my style, figuring out how I wanted to do certain things, and just playing around with it, because that's what it is being an artist. You get to fucking
Explore.
Bob Ross it if you want
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Want to do
Well,
happy trees, or
yeah.
you want to be like, or Frida,
Yep.
which is one of my favorite artists as
Mine
well.
too.
So
What were you
because
sorry to cut you off. I was gonna ask you
no,
what were you expressing in the beginning stages? Because you said like there's two different, not two different sides, but there was different. Every
Levels of
drawing
you.
they served a purpose for every
Yeah.
phase of your life, right? So early on, what did the drawing and the doodling and the being creative and being an artist, what were some of the things you was expressing early on in the beginning stage? How did that help you?
well, in the beginning, like it was more like me trying to find out like where I was as an artist.
Okay.
I knew I had the talent, but it was like, where is this going?
Mm.
Okay.
What is what? Like it was just like, picking up a pen for the first time.
Yeah.
So I started off drawing women and fashion pieces and stuff like that. And the reason why most of my work is just women, because people will ask me like, what do you draw? I say I draw bad bitches. That's what the fuck
They are.
I draw bad bitches. And the
Hell
reason
yeah.
why I do that, and the reason, and it took me a while to realize that was my style, was the women, because of what I seen growing up, the women that I know, women that look like me. It was hard for me to find women that look like me because we didn't see that representation. The only representation I've ever seen of people that look similar to me, the people that I grew up with, was if you saw, urban shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Family Matters, A Different World, Living in Color. Like you saw those people, and it's like, all right, you don't see that on the mainstream media. You see Britney Spears, you see Christina Aguilera, you see fucking all these, skinny white girls, thin and model 90s models, and they were like really pretty, and it's just like I didn't see me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see my mother. I didn't see my grandmother. I didn't see nobody that I knew. So when I was drawing, I would, draw, women that were more curvaceous and had bigger lips, like that looked like me. So a lot of people would also make fun of the way I was doing certain things, because they felt like, oh, that's unrealistic. How is that unrealistic?
Yeah.
Because I'm not drawing a stick figure. Even when we were doing designs in my fashion class, the proportions have to be a certain way with women. You gotta like draw them like, women, bitches gotta look like fucking hangers.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm
God.
not with this shit.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't
It's not true
find
to
myself in shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my dresses to be on women that have my shape, or more curvier or bigger, like all we see is these fly ass outfits on skinny broomsticks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, that's hot, but then you develop this obsession with wanting to be looking like that.
Yep.
And it's just like, that's really what it is. It was just a perception of how these women are portrayed, and you're seeing them growing up in magazines, on TV. And I remember my mother used to always get like the Star magazine, and in the Star magazine, you used to pick out part the fucking celebrities' bodies, especially the women. Like, oh my God, she has cellulite. She just came out the fucking water. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like it was so nitpicky, and it was so horrible. And even if you see, the children now, the internet has gotten worse, because it's like you ruin little girls' self-esteem before you even know they have a self-esteem. And it's just like I wouldn't even want to experience that, because I see now so many girls changing their appearance to look like what they see.
Yeah.
So that also like pushed my style of drawing as well, because everything I do has been in relation to women, how they look. And also, like, even a lot of my friends, when they see me, you know, I've never considered myself like a conventional beauty or whatever, but you know, they see me like, oh, you know, you got some big lips and a big butt or whatever, like you have that look, and right away running to go get injections in their lips and, fucking go to Miami to get their ass shots. And I'm like, I don't want anybody around me to feel like that's what they have to get to look like me either. But it's crazy seeing that, because growing up, I wanted to see women like me, but not in this way.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yep.
And it's horrible seeing it now. So it's like a real mind fuck. So in my drawings, you know, when I was doing the goddesses, I really wanted to just have, you know, different body types.
Yeah.
Just so women can feel seen. Like, I'm still playing around with certain
and
things,
colors
but
too. You have different
yeah,
shades.
yeah. Like, I really wanted to have women look at these pieces and just feel like, all right, that looks sexy. That looks like a bad bitch. I don't have to go get this done, because look at how she made this art. Even when you look at art back in the day with women, bigger bodies was a thing. Like, you know, the way your body shape is goes with fashion times, and then at the same time, when you look at fashion, you see how elitist it is, you see how racist it is, you see how like privileged, and it's just like it turned me off. So recently I posted some art pieces of mine that were related to like old pieces I've done, which was fashion designs. And I was thinking about like posting more and stuff like that. I'm a little reluctant on that, because a lot of big name brand places, they like to, you know, look at lower level people and steal. I've seen it happen to so many people, and I'm like, I have to protect certain pieces.
Of course.
So there's a lot of post and deletes I do, because I'm just like, not everything can be on here. I know that Instagram's a portfolio and stuff like that, but as an artist, I feel like you need to reserve certain things. You have to, because people just will take, you know.
Of course.
And listen, no idea is actually original. It all came from somewhere. We're all inspired. So a lot of my work, all of my work, is just inspired by women I see on Instagram. So I'll just see an image, that's my reference, and then I'll do my spin on it. That's what I do. So women can see that.
What did you learn about yourself through, like, as you continue to, especially through the years, to continue to be an artist and do these drawings and be consistent in it, and also sometimes take your breaks, right? You know, what did you learn about, what were some lessons that you learned about yourself doing these type of drawings? And even some, maybe it wasn't even drawings about women, maybe it's just something that you just need to express yourself at that moment. Maybe you was feeling angry and you do something that wasn't about women or anything. Like, what was the process for you of learning about yourself through this gift that you was born with?
It was really a painful one, because like I said, I grew up with a horrible perception of myself. Because of how I was treated and the certain kind of people I was around. So like I said, I never saw myself as like, oh, you know, very beautiful and stuff like that. So, you know, you grow up with low self-esteem and things like that. So like being an artist, that was my escape. So I felt like I got power out of it. And it helped me understand the idea of, you're creating this, you know, and it's all subjective what people find beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what if these people find you ugly? So what if people find these bodies kind of ugly? Or, you know, some people are attracted to this, some people attracted to that. Who fucking cares? But it gave me confidence, because I understood, like, in artistry, how powerful it is to have hands that can draw and do these things. Like, I feel like everybody has this. So You know,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has it in them. If you give a person a proper tools and the proper training, you can paint, you can
Oh yeah.
absolutely draw. You know, it's just tapping into that power.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was drawing, I was tapping into my power
Mhm.
every
Yeah.
step of the way, even when I wasn't understanding it. So like
Mhm.
now I'm more comfortable because I'm understanding of certain techniques and stuff like that. In high school it was different because in high school I just I got tired. I want to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, I had to audition to be in that school. The original school I wanted to go to was fashion industries, like my mother. But my
Oh.
father
Okay.
didn't want me to go, and he
Okay.
didn't let me audition to that one. So I got in for my second choice, which was art and
Art and
design.
design.
So I auditioned, immediately got in. I got accepted to like 7 schools, high
Mm.
schools, but that was my second choice.
Mhm.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to that one. So you have to always outperform it. It felt like a competition sometimes
Mm.
Mhm.
because it was like I'm around all this talent.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But you also learn from other people certain techniques and stuff like that. And it's nice to see a lot of my friends grow and do something with their talent because a lot of
Right.
people stopped. I know the best of the best that absolutely stopped. So I felt like, you know, I became a mom at 19, 20. So
Oh.
that changed.
Mhm.
And, you know, I also dealt with my parents splitting up and stuff like that. That was rough. And I was just like, you know, and then something traumatic happened to me right before I became a mother. So everything was like
Coming
going
Yeah.
crazy.
So what did that
back
bring to your
to your
your
art.
art?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
also like
I
discovering.
stopped doing that for a long time
Okay.
actually, the art.
But when
I stopped.
it came back though.
How did
It
you
came it came back after I survived another traumatic event.
Okay.
Oh,
So
so
what?
when you discovered, because you said that you discovered a power within you when you were drawing, right? So
Mhm.
when was that, and how did you feel? Because you were drawing to draw, and you didn't see people that look like you, but yet you're drawing and you're taking this in. And what was that like for you to like, wow, like find this power within you, that confidence? How did that feel? And like, what was that painting?
Um it became a thing I think in my like mid 20s when I started
Mhm.
doing it again. I already had my son. I
Mhm.
feel like after I gave birth, that's when it
Okay.
really hit
Okay.
because I feel that like I said, being an artist is not it wasn't just me drawing. It was also me becoming a mother.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's an art.
So it was like I created this human being.
Mm-hmm.
How can I not do this? So when
Mhm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
drawing and I was doing certain things, I was still figuring it out and I was very into details. So I will share with you guys like old pieces I did so you can see like the difference in
Okay.
certain
Yeah.
things. I had
Yeah.
like I was very known for my like intricate details and whatnot, but like now I don't even have the patience to do those little intricate details.
Mm.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
interesting.
weird. Like I'm
Yeah.
consistently changing as an artist.
Well, it seems
Yeah.
So
like
it's like
So it's
now
going with how you're changing.
it seems
yes.
like now
Yeah.
as an artist, correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like in the beginning, you know, you was figuring things out, who you
Mm-hmm.
are. You had a lot of people around you who are creative. So it almost became it was a tool for you to reflect, but also almost this competitive nature is like, well, everyone around me is great. How do I
Mm-hmm.
figure myself out? Right. And
Mm-hmm.
try to like
Yes.
just felt this pressure.
Yep.
Then it became like, okay, well, now I need to learn technique. And you start figuring out different techniques and you start becoming known for this intricate stuff that you got it, right? And now you're at the phase where it's less about that and more of the story that you're trying to tell with these drawings that you're doing
Yeah.
because you realize is the truth in these drawings and it's the message and the substance in these drawings and not so much everything else
Yep.
because you're putting there's a story behind it, you know, these beautiful women and these different types of women that that was basically that you didn't see and also empowering other women. So now that's just the bigger message. So now your drawings now it's about the message, and then I'm assuming, right? Because you have these
No,
different.
it is 100% about the message, because it had to be that, because like I said, I was trying to find myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Other girls were trying to see themselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, even in high school, they have you draw certain kind of figures when you're learning art history.
Yeah.
You don't really see us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm going to make us.
Mhm.
And then I still explored, you know, still like, you know, reference drawings, picking up, like it was more of like me practicing during that time. So,
Right.
you know, after the baby, I did certain pieces, and then I wasn't like crazy about them or whatever, but I actually included them in my first exhibition. And the reason for that was to show something that I've done over the years,
Mhm.
just my growth and stuff like that, because these are like, I'm a very harsh critic when it comes to my work. I'm
Yeah, I
very
think a
harder
lot
on
of us
myself.
are. Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, ugh. But
Mhm.
somebody else is just like, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
So it's
Why
like,
is
listen, if you love it, I love it too. So we're gonna post it.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Why
Why
is
you
that? Do you think is maybe
your
because of the
hardest?
upbringing of
I'm
not
hard on
feeling
myself
so?
overall. So I've
Okay.
always been like a little perfectionist, where I'm just like, bitch, you better do it right.
No.
Or sometimes, like, you know, like I said, I'll just be tired, or it depends on, I'm a very moody person.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I go with whatever I'm in the mood for.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
wherever I'm existing in that moment, that's
That's what you're
what
gonna
I'm
do.
drawing. So certain things I can't relate to, because who I was like 5 seconds ago, I don't know who that person is anymore. I'm this person right now.
Okay. So
It's
that's
like
why
a
you
big,
gotcha.
yeah. So it's a big, like, it just fluctuates. So I go, like, it's like going with the water. It's
Okay.
like an ocean. That's how
Yeah.
I describe it. So it's hard to, like, you know, I don't put myself in a, you know, little bubble.
Box.
In a box.
I can't,
What
because
what
I wish change.
Yeah.
what keeps bringing you back to this gift? Because you touched something on, like, you had some
The
traumatic
break.
experiences, you take your breaks, you go through life, and it's normal. People have these up and downs,
Yeah.
or these, situations that they have to go through. But it seems like, you know, you keep coming back, and it comes back. And when it does come back, it comes back almost like rejuvenated from the experiences that you just went through, and is also coming back to help you again, because it
I
seems
think
like
it's
this
also coming
gift,
back and giving you more power
right, this
and
gift has
confidence.
been helping you throughout your life.
Mhm.
It
And
has, yeah.
so why do you keep going back to it? What calls you to keep going back to it?
What caused me to continuously go back to it is the fact that, one, it's a part of me.
Yeah.
As much as there was a point in time I didn't want to be an artist, I was just like,
Mm.
fuck it, I don't care no more, whatever. But at the same time, it's like, no, bitch, you've been doing this since
Mhm.
you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you put the work in and the time in, and you keep sketching, you keep doing, like, yeah, I've seen you, you've done great. And this is me literally having conversations with myself,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there are times where I'm just like, no, because I'm so fixated on other things, and I'm going through other things where it's just like, I can't be creative right now.
Okay.
Because as a creator, you do get overwhelmed, you do get tired. You
Mhm.
can't always give your all, and depending on what you're going through in that moment in time, you're not going to put your best foot forward. But as an artist, I do know that the greatest pieces come from pain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the tiredness and the stress and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done it. I've delivered certain pieces where it's just like, wow. And I'd be in shock of myself, like, bitch, you did that. I'm like, I know. You know, have that conversation, like, yes, bitch, you did that. But then there's times where it's just like, I don't like it, because I don't recognize who I was when I did that in that moment. So it's just like, it's so many different emotions for each and every piece. But that's how I discover myself, because I'm always
Yeah.
learning about me.
Yeah.
I don't feel that people need to stay in this one
No.
sector of themselves in this one box. I feel like we would fail as people if we continuously stay in this one sector. Like, no, like expand. You're more than an artist, you're more than a singer, you're more than a dancer. There's so much stuff to learn about yourself. So keep exploring it. So I like to explore myself with my work, with my art, because it's where I'm most comfortable at. I know I have other talents, but the bitch never fucking stepped out the damn box when it came to that. But I know as an artist, like I can absolutely do that if I want to do that. But right now where I'm at is just, I want to get as much pieces out as possible, because why not?
Yeah.
No, like everybody has their famous go-to pieces and stuff like that. I just want to have like pieces upon pieces upon pieces upon pieces. This way, if I do take a break, I got a lot of pieces for y'all to look at. You know what I'm saying? And I can venture off and self-explore in other things that I want to do for myself. And I won't have to feel like, you know, because I am attached to my gift too. I don't want to feel like I'm neglecting that part of myself. So I always have something to fall back on. But I was always told, like, always do something with your talent. It would be a waste for you not to. And it's true, because you have all these people, they're not fucking talented, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, a lot of artists get discouraged when they see all these new age artists that are not exactly artists, but they have the connects and the
consistency and the motivation. Sometimes talent is just only this much, and there's another layer to it that you need, which is the work ethic and the consistency, and then through that you build your connections. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then also there's also a frustration within the art community when you see certain people that call themselves artists and they're really not. Wow. I mean, you know, anybody could splatter paint on a fucking canvas. And it'll just be a dot. And then
why you shitting on my paintings? Why you shitting on my paintings? Come on, I work
mad hard on that. Like, I'm pretty sure you would be. I feel like you would be a lot more creative than, you know,
just a dot.
Yeah, because somebody just did a little dot, and then, you know, somebody's buying it for like 1.5 million.
I never understood. Look, I'm an artist, and I love art, and I love different type of creative stuff. But when I see something like that, and I just can't get into it. I just like
it's irritating. I get the whole I get people that are minimalist, but at the same fucking time, like, yo,
it's a dot. Call it a dot.
I could put my 2-year-old daughter's thing, and that'll be even better. And not to like say that her art is bad. I'm just saying, like,
no. It's because, you know what, she got more pep in her step. She show you some things, bitch. The fuck is a dot.
I could crumble paper and be like.
Exactly. And I get it though. Some people feel that they can, you know, why not? But because of the connects they have, and the money that they have. So if they want to put a fucking dot on a canvas and call themselves a fucking artist, that's what I'm saying. It's also elitist. It's also attached to that. So it sucks, because there's a lot of artists out there that do need the spotlight. You know, like, their work is amazing. And I love to see other artists and flourish and do what they're doing, because it's like that inspires me. Because that's really what art is. It's just you finding yourself. It's you just, an artist is God. Everybody has that ability. You're always creating. You create your reality. You know, so I went from not having any control in my life, not understanding what it means to have my gift, where now I understand. So I'm in the driver's seat. It's my paintbrush, it's my pen, it's my Apple pen, it's me fucking writing the story, not anybody else, and nobody can take that from me.
What kept you going? Because you didn't share like details.
Exactly.
But the way you talked about it, of course, it was, like you said, traumatic. So what kept you going in these traumatic situations that you was in, to keep fighting and to keep moving forward, you know, and to keep moving on and finding a way, right? You know, everyone has ups and downs in life, but you know, like in art, you know, you probably make a mistake, but you learn from it, right? And then you make it better. So what kept you going in life to move forward and maybe know that like this is only for a small amount of time that I'm going to be in this, but I hope things will get better?
In those moments, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but
Yeah.
in those moments they were so it was really bad.
Yeah.
So being that it was more of like a life or death situation too.
Right.
Okay.
And also such a traumatic experience where certain people do not come out of it alive,
Right.
or they'll off themselves
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
because that's how bad it is.
Right.
And then there's some people that go into drugs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's those things that I went through, you know. So I don't feel like comfortable talking about it.
It's
It feels
fine.
weird.
Yeah.
But no, not like, you know, I could share with you guys. Maybe because I'm being recorded, so it's like I feel a little
Well,
funny
no,
Okay.
well, I
about
just
it.
want to know. My thing is not like the
But
details about
that's
it, but like the
Going. Yeah.
like you said, like what I'm amazed about is the strength and courage
Yeah.
to keep moving
Yeah.
on.
Yep. Yep.
That and
not
that,
give
because
and
up
that's
and-
yeah.
right there though, that really just came from, I guess I had no choice.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
I wasn't taught like sit and cry about it. No, I went through certain things and I just had to keep going, because the way I was raised was like, you know, put your fuck you boots on and keep it marching. That's
Right.
it. Like there's no let go and let God type shit.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's the avenue and the things I've been around. So it's not like, oh, we get to sit down and cry about it. No,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I never really dealt with the things that were traumatic.
Right.
So I was lashing out in different ways where I was very self-destructive and stuff like
Mm.
that. And then, you know, I would just draw certain things and then I would just crumble it up, throw it out, like just express myself in that way.
Mhm.
Whereas now that I have, it's a different person. So
Yeah.
I can do this and I can do that. But what kept me going was the fact that I had no choice. And then obviously me being a mother,
Yeah.
I have no choice because he didn't ask to be here. So I have to
Exactly.
keep going. But there were just moments where it was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And that person was scary to me.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
being that I got to that point, I was like, yo.
So
you
what
need to
helped you
do
in that moment?
this.
Was did
When
you
yeah.
find help? Did you, or was it your son
Well,
that
it was
motivated
me. It
you
was me.
to
It
like?
was self-motivation. It was
Mm.
just me getting
Self-talk.
myself out. I felt like, you know what, you went through these things and you got out. You're gonna
Mhm.
continue to keep coming out. You don't need a book to tell you that. You don't need a doctor to tell you that.
Mhm.
You don't need your parents to tell you that. You don't need nobody to tell you that.
Yeah.
Your experience is showing you that you just fucking went through it and you got out of it. So that's what kept me going.
Gotcha.
Even when I didn't fucking feel like I wanted to, but I
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
going because I had no choice.
And that's what I want. That's why I asked that, because you've been drawing women that are strong and powerful, and you've seen that
Mhm.
around you, and you want to show that to other women. But
Yeah.
you speaking and just you touching on that, I see one in you.
Yeah.
So then that's why I'm like, what motivated you to keep going, to be strong? Who helped? And you said, you know, I had no choice. It was me. I had to keep on finding a way. And there were certain things I didn't like about myself, and I saw red flags. But at the end of the day, I motivated myself to keep going. So then I'm like, well, that's beautiful, because in this reality, these pictures that you was drawing was also showing you a mirror of yourself,
Exactly.
of who
Yeah.
you are
Absolutely.
and what you have within.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, it took these circumstances to pull that out of you even stronger, to be like, I
Mhm.
gotta search really hard within to get out of this, and I know I can do it. You know, where in the end,
It's really self-love.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. And you know, I grew up with certain people telling me you need to love yourself, you don't love yourself type shit. And I'm just like, I'm the only one loving me the way I'm loving me. I'm the only one putting myself through this shit.
Mhm.
You know, we all have help. I've
Yeah.
had people that help me.
Yeah.
I've had people that encourage me. And that's the reason why I'm here. But
at the end of
it's
the day, it had to come from
ultimately
you.
yourself. It all comes
Yeah.
from yourself, because people can sit there and call you beautiful, you got it all and all this shit.
Yeah.
But you have to want it. You have to know that in
Yeah.
yourself. You have to see yourself. And there were times where I felt so deformed I just didn't recognize myself. And then I had to go through that deep search to find myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's another reason why so many women have gravitated towards me, because everybody sees me as this motherly, strong figure, like you're so strong and stuff like that. But I also feel like people just romanticize it a little too much as well, because it's like, listen, I'm not Wonder Woman. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Yeah.
I need a hug. Sometimes we need to pause.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, look, I could take my own damn advice sometimes, and I
Yeah.
don't.
Mhm.
You know, I give the best advice.
That's
I'm like,
honest.
Yeah.
but then when I pass by the mirror and it's like, bitch, you need to take your own advice too. 'Cause let's not act like you didn't see what the
Facts.
fuck you was doing the last time. And I'm just like, yeah, right, you right.
Right.
Let me pause.
When did you start that relationship with the mirror? You'd like embracing yourself, because that's a scary thing.
Relationship with the
For a
mirror.
long
Ben
time.
had that relationship with the mirror
Mm.
from the very get when I noticed I had boobs.
Nice.
Okay.
You know,
Me
when
too.
you
I had
start
man titties when I was
discovering-
young too. The same way. I was going through puberty like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that shit.
So you
No,
make
like,
fun of me.
It really is. It's just like when you're discovering yourself, you know, going in like your bodily changes and stuff like that. Because I seen girls developed a certain way, and then I was like, what's going on here? And you know, I started that relationship with loving myself and finding out why I look this way. Why don't I look this way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like the way society is and how girls see themselves is so important, because we're not taught to love ourselves.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I kept seeing that, yeah, be yourself, but okay, we ourselves, but you don't love us.
Yeah. Or you get the love from a man or the
promoting
outside.
something
Or
that
love
goes
is
against
to get it from
it.
somebody else, not from you.
Exactly. So I went on that spectrum of let me find somewhere else, and I learned the hard way, and I was like, no. Let me recenter myself and go back to what I originally was doing, because even when I was looking at myself from, you know, at a young age, looking at the mirror, and I'm like unsure. I don't know if I love this person I'm staring at. You know, at 13, you don't know, but you're figuring it out. But that's the whole thing. You're gonna go through the trenches with yourself for a very long time for you to fucking figure it out. It's only you. And I feel like we're also taught that, you know, somebody's supposed to save you and all that, especially with religion and stuff like that. You know, everybody like, you know, and I grew up in it, and I was just like, ain't nobody gonna save me but me. Ain't nobody gonna love me but me. Ain't nobody gonna help me but me. It's always been me. So that's the reason why in my art I always put women, because you know I hate women's slander. I really do. You know, and I'm very vocal with my women empowerment for a reason, because I'm always in conversations with women talking about how they're not loved properly, and just women that don't love themselves. And it hurts me because I'm just like, this is what society has created. And also when our parents aren't in the household to really instill that in you.
Exactly.
Because everybody's working, because everybody's tired, everybody's doing this. And it's like,
and it's also what they grew up with. They don't know either. So
exactly. And it's also that codependency. And it's just like, no, you gotta just be. And I've always had that alone time too as well. I'm not afraid to be alone. And I spent most of my time alone, because everybody's like, yo, let's go out, let's do that. Listen, if I go out, I'm going all the fuck out. I'm painting the town red, and that's it. But I value and I love my alone time, because I know I'm most safe. I didn't grow up where I always felt safe. So now that I'm giving myself that, I'm not trading that up for nobody. I'm not giving that to nobody. I'm able to create in peace. I'm in my own energy. I don't have to fucking feel like I'm walking on eggshells or anything like that. Like because I lived in that life. So now that I'm not in that space anymore, like I see all these other women around me, I'm like, you deserve to feel that way. Every human deserves to feel like that. That's important, because that allows us to thrive and feel confident in what we're doing. If you're around energies that are bringing you down or taking you out of pocket and not, you don't feel safe, you're gonna be a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
And I'm always surrounded by those energies, and it's crazy. So I'm just like, this is why I stay to myself. This is why I always, I didn't know back then what the fuck I was doing with conversations with self, how I was loving myself. I didn't know what that was until, after I became a mother. And then I realized you got to separate woman and mother, because those are two different identities. You can't just be a mom, even though some people will make you feel bad for that concept as well. But it's like women are so multifaceted.
Yeah.
So it's like I get to explore myself in that way. And in love, when I have lovers and stuff like that, you're just sharing me with me. It's the experience, you don't own me, I don't own you. And I like, that's where I separate myself. So in my artwork, I want women to just feel that power and feel the strength, that's so important.
How about you, when you first became a mom, it gave you a power that you knew you had, but it like opened it up. So now that at the stage that because your son is older, what gift and
Oh my
power
God.
do you have now? Because your power grows as they get older. So at what stage are you now within your power from being a mother to your son?
Well, she got stronger to beat that ass, because when your kids get older, you gotta get stronger with them, because they think they can beat your ass.
But I'm talking about within.
I know.
The conversation with my son. My son was like, he said something to me. He goes, "Mom, I'm almost as tall as you." And I said, "And I still whip your ass." So I said, "I can find out how tall you is." What the fuck does that mean? And then but he understood it. Like, he's a good sport and whatnot. But I had to let him know.
Of course.
I know I'm only like 5 feet, but damn, everybody's taller than me. Shit, there's a whole world up there that I don't know about. How does it feel to smell the trees?
It's all good. So, come to your world.
So when you're down here, so like that power is different now because I'm more confident. Yeah. When I first had my son, I wasn't prepared. Well, you're never prepared.
Yeah.
But in that setting too, at that same time, I wasn't prepared. But I realized that I had a power in me because I pushed my son out of my body, 24 hours of fucking hardcore labor and almost dying giving birth to him. That kind of experience was not only traumatic, but it's life-changing. And it was just like, you know what? I can do anything. But then I got caught up with other things. And then I was like, no, I have to just stick to myself. I never steered myself the wrong way. I've never, if I'm going to put myself in a compromising situation, I have to trust that I know how to get myself out.
Yeah.
I all of my work, everything that I've done has just all been self-discovery. Everything relates back to me, because that's the only reason why I'm here today. That's the only reason why I'm alive. So like with my work and the people that I do work with and the people that I'm friends with, I that narrative that it's always about you. It's your world.
Yeah.
We're just sharing the experience. I'm feeling your energy. Yeah. How I feel about you is what your energy that's radiating off me. It's like, a circle of life. Yeah. Enjoy it. And I just want to consistently always learn myself, because there's so much to learn about yourself. I feel like people limit themselves based off jobs, based off their relationships with people, based off what they know how to do, and it sucks because we're in a society that doesn't allow you to really explore those pieces of you.
Yeah.
So people are constantly looking for a creative outlet. Like everybody's an artist. Everybody has that in them, because you creating your own fucking life if you just know that you're in control. But people don't have the tools. They don't have that self-knowledge. They don't have that self-love. So they are codependent on other people, and then they span out and they're just not themselves. And it's just sad, because you even have creative geniuses that they're just only a genius at that and nothing else. Because they stop. So I'm consistently going. So what I am right now, this second,
It's gonna be
tomorrow, I'm just gonna be a different person.
Yeah.
And
Because that's what I choose.
And that's a
Wow.
great segue, because how did this seasoning come
Yeah,
about?
I was just
You know what I'm
thinking
saying?
about the
Yeah, so-
I was just
seasoning.
thinking
Because
about
you're
that.
always changing and you're an artist in many different ways. And then one day I look and I'm like, oh shit,
You
she
are
making
doing
pork chops with her
sazon.
own seasoning.
Oh, that's
cooking.
another thing. As an artist and as a mom, that came first of all, I'm gonna blame my sign. I'm gonna bring astrology into this real quick because I'm a
Mhm.
Taurus.
Okay.
So you already know we love food.
Mm.
So why not? So no, I've always loved cooking.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I'm some fantastic fucking chef or whatever the case may be. I just know that if I know that I put my love and heart into it, you're going to be the whole time. That's it. Just know that that's how it's going to be. So I think during the time with the whole pandemic and the whole fucking lockdown and shit, I was just so drained. And see, back to astrology. Some people won't get this, but if you're a Cancer rising, like myself, during the full moon, when you have an idea, that idea tends to make money.
Okay.
So that idea came to me that I was like, yo, I've changed my lifestyle in terms of how I eat and stuff like that. And I have a special person to thank for that. And because my whole diet is just really like organic, non-GMO. That's what I cook with. Okay. So I don't use like the artificial shit that I grew up eating and making stuff with and whatnot. So that all changed. I was like, you know what, let me fucking make my own adobo and my own sazon. Because when I was cooking, I was always with the flavors.
Yeah.
Always. I was always with the concoctions. You can never put too much fucking onion powder. You can never put too much garlic powder. Cayenne, all that shit. I used all that shit. I still today don't know what the fuck paprika's for. Do you know?
Yo, it's true. I just put it for color.
That's what I
mean, like, this needs a little bit of color. Let me put it.
Paprika. Smoked paprika does something, but paprika, because one day I was like, I don't know what this does, but we're just gonna put this in here.
Needs a little bit of color. Let me put paprika.
That's what I'm saying. So, and it's in my adobo. It's in my adobo, believe it or not. That's the funny part. I don't
the color.
know what it's for, but guess what? It's going in the adobo.
Like
so like one day, yes. And achote is really hard to get too.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't have achote, so I'm gonna put paprika.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, my big go-to is the adobo. Everybody loves the adobo. Everybody was a fan of that one because it's like, I feel like, you use that seasoning. That's all you need because it has the powder, it has the garlic, it has everything in it. It's all the paprika that nobody knows what it's for, but it's in there. There you go. So I'm still like baffled, and that's like, bitch, you cook. How do you not know this? I'm like, I just don't get it because you don't taste nothing. No, it does nothing. It's just red.
It's just red. So color.
This is for color. That's exactly what I'm saying, because when it goes on, it's like it's red.
Yeah.
It's not coming off.
And then it's
color.
Like, oh shit.
So I put a whole bunch because I like my chicken to have color. I don't like light chicken. When I see light chicken, I'm like, this kind of tastes good. Like, it plays in my mind. So I, as an artist, I felt very creative in with making rice and beans, because I was taught a certain way. I was taught the Dominican way, I was taught the Puerto Rican way, and whatnot, the Cuban way, and I was just like, that's nice and all, but I like flavor in my rice. I like to get a little more crazy with the beans, because when you get beans from the Dominicans, it's very bland sometimes.
Really?
Or it's not a lot of juice and stuff like that. Certain spots don't really put the flavor in it. I'm like, this is disappointing, because there are certain Dominican restaurants off the fucking chain.
Hell yeah.
There's certain Puerto Rican spots off the chain, but then you see certain like chains.
Yeah.
And the food is very bland, and I'm like, yeah, we're not ordering from here anymore. So I'm gonna start making my own stuff. So, but during the lockdown, when all that shit with Goya was going down as well,
yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm already cooking. I'm already like doing my own thing, and everybody's a fan of it because I've always got compliments like, "Oh, you should just have your own restaurant." I'm like, that's dope, but it's like a big responsibility that I don't really want to have. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, that's cute, but I don't know. So I was like, let me just do the seasoning. So I just, did the adobo. I did my own drawing. I designed it a certain way. And then I was just like, you know what? I just want to have like a little shop. I'm just giving this out to my friends and my family. And then everybody was loving it. And that's how it became. So I was like, all right, well, there's that. That's the power of being a creator. There you go. You can create this, you can create that. So I was just like, fuck it. And I was so fixated on it. That's really was when I get obsessed with a particular idea, like I'll just stick with it because I know for a fact I got this. It's gonna be nice. So that's really how the seasonings came about.
That's dope.
I hope that you guys love it.
Yeah. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm gonna buy it.
We have to get some.
I'm gonna get some because I'm done with the paprika.
I want extra paprika.
Be written in the back, like I just have paprika there. I don't know what it's for, but if you taste it, let me know.
Take a picture of me, mira.
There's gotta be like a huge public forum about what is.
There's a community group.
No, I'm gonna after this. I'm gonna Google that shit.
I'm gonna fucking find that shit on Facebook because I find everything else hilarious. I find wild shit on Facebook, but I need to fucking find out what's the use of paprika.
The mystery of paprika. So Lena, we're gonna go to the next and last segment, and we have these like cards that ask like lifelong questions, and we don't know what the card is. I'm just gonna pull one out. Oh no.
I feel like I'm doing a tarot reading.
Right? All right. So there's two questions here. The first question is, when was the last time you felt truly appreciated?
Wow. I would say today. A little certain. He's not little. He's a big person. A certain special person came today. Like we had like a little back and forth yesterday. We weren't like getting along or whatever. I was mad at him.
Okay.
And then he came today wanting to like talk it out, which was great. And that means a lot when people want to work things out with you because they care, and he surprised me like with a pair of earrings, and I was just like, oh, he does appreciate me. That means a lot because it's little things like that. I had a hard time appreciating things because there were people in my life that were manipulative. So it was hard for me to be like, oh, let me appreciate this and stuff like that because there was always a hidden motive.
Yeah.
So like I'm in a place now where I'm just like I could receive and I'm open to receiving. So like those little moments of showing that one appreciates me means so much. So I feel like now that I'm in that headspace, I get that more often. So it was nice to like, oh, I got that. That's nice. I got earrings and that like meant so much to me. And they're so beautiful, the earrings. So I was just like, oh, I feel so appreciated today.
Nice.
So it motivated me, but because I had a rough day today. I was just so like tired, and I'm just like I was nervous about today.
Thanks for being here.
Like, wait, I gotta fucking get ready for class, and I'm just like, my birds are fucking killing each other, and I'm just like, oh my god, And so it was just so much that happened so quick. So that little thing meant all the difference.
Nice.
Before you go to the second question, I googled what does paprika do in cooking, and it says typically just labeled as paprika, this spice adds vibrant color to any dish.
See, it was just color.
And it says it has a sweet pepper flavor, but a lot of it is like you can style it with eggs, potato salad, or use flavoring for meat rubs. So it's just for color.
But ain't no
That's what I'm
motherfucking
thinking.
fleavor is the
There is
point.
no fu-
Yeah, they try to.
Ain't no
Yeah,
fu-
yeah.
Smoked paprika, yes,
little
because
bit.
it's
It
smoked.
says sweet
Yeah.
pepper flavor.
Ain't no sweet pepper, because I ain't no
No
sweet
color.
nothing. I tasted that shit like
When my chicken looks white, I'm like,
Nothing.
okay.
it's color.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a substitute for achote.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
didn't
red
have a
achote, it's orange.
Yes.
So orange and red, two combinations. All I know is my chicken do not
Doesn't
look
know
white.
what white.
That's it. That's all you need to know. That paprika is there for a reason. It's to add color. So if you get my adobo, you're gonna definitely taste
Gonna
it and be
have
like, oh my god, it tastes so good. It's got color and it's got taste.
All right. The second question is what do you normally take for granted? Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
Oh, what do I normally take for granted?
Paprika.
Myself.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Myself.
yeah, that is a good one.
Elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
yeah,
get
yeah.
deep, but that's a great
That's a
great
good-
answer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we all kind of suffer from imposter syndrome sometimes,
Mm.
you know, and we let that get the best of you. And I take for granted myself sometimes because I'm just like, I don't be realizing I am what I am, bitch. I got this. I got this. I
Yep.
could do this. And it just like, you know, sometimes it just slipped right
Because you're
past
doing
me.
so
And
much.
I'm doing so much. And it's like, damn, bitch, stop and smell the roses that you
Yep.
have in your garden. Like,
Mhm.
why are you taking yourself for granted? You know, like, why are you not, you know? So it's really a self thing because even when you do it to yourself, you tend to do it to other people
Mhm.
because it's a reflection.
Yeah.
So when I started to notice that with myself, I'm like, oh, I'm probably carrying this out in my other relationships. So let me check it with myself. And then let me check back with other people. So we're all on the same page. Because I never want people in my life to feel like I'm taking them for granted or if they
Yeah.
feel funny with me. I like to be very open and transparent in my relationships with people. I like for people to feel really, really comfortable around me. You know, I'm a type of person where like, look, you come into the room, you deserve like, oh my God, and that happiness
Mhm.
coming from
Yeah.
somebody else. If somebody's already like hi and like they're being like phony, like that energy,
Yeah.
that weird shit, I don't like that weird shit. So I like to not be around it personally. I try to avoid it as much as I can. So this is why right now all my relationships are just based off what radiates off of love and like, you know, compassion and empathy. Like that's so important because life is already fucking rough,
Word.
you know? So I'm not trying to fucking be a thorn to somebody's side or give somebody a headache or make them upset. Like I just want people around me like really happy and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I be sending everybody funny shit too. And I post the funny shit, like, you know, I'm pretty sure it'd be like, yo, this bitch is fucking she has a spectrum of humor. Let's just say this. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I'm constantly changing because like there's this part of me that's really immature and I'm just like, this shit is funny as fuck. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's like a little tickle. But yeah, I would say it myself.